So I just got my glasses back that my dog had crushed the lens. This is a hotel that I used to live in. It was close to $236 a week. It's about a 10-minute walk from my house. So at the time I moved in here, I had gotten let go from a pest control company that I was doing like housing projects in Tampa, and I got in an argument with the maintenance kid, and long story short, it just didn't work out for either one of us. So the guy Eddie from Atlas Eco, he's an awesome dude. He gave me like an extra $800 and got me here. And before I came up to this area, I was downtown Tampa or like Seminole Heights, but I always used to drive up this way and for whatever reason go to Crunch here on Bruce B. Downs. And the gym was really nice near my house, but for some reason I would always gravitate towards this area, and I feel like, I know it was the Holy Spirit preparing me. So I ended up here. I had to sneak one of my cats in. I ended up getting a pretty decent job at a place called Enviro Res, or Zero Res. It's zero spelled backwards. And long story short, the girl was a real bitch. Her name was Alicia. Her dad owns the Ben Franklin air conditioning and plumbing thing across the street. But she was into Freemasonry and witchcraft and all kinds of shit. She was just a real fucked up person and a real toxic person to work with. But I was making like $600-700 a week. Well, I could tell, she just never liked me, but she knew that I was a good worker. And, so the day came and they fired me, long story short. And now, I've got like 3 weeks of, I think I had like $800, $900 saved up, and I was looking for a job. I ended up working at McDonald's down here. I'm down here. I don't have any family members. My best friend's mom, who I've known since I was 20, came on to me, and I had to leave their area suddenly and without telling the kids that their mom was trying to, get with me while I'm living with her. And, long story. But so I ended up here, and then, that didn't work out. And I was like, God, I'm here. This is like the end of the, there's child molesters, tweakers, people that can't, it's very hard to get a place to live here in Florida if you're a felon. They all end up in shitholes like this. And, you live in a real shithole when, don't get me wrong, the room was nice and the pool was okay and everything. Nobody was ever in the pool, okay? That's how bad the drugs were. I had like 3 or 4 child molesters try to talk to me and try to buy me gifts and all kinds of weird shit. So anyways, when the time came, one of the most humbling things I ever had to do was push a shopping cart with my shit in it. A friend watched my cats. I remember I used to have to go outside and get sand out of the ground, you know what I mean, to use for my litter box. I had like $4. I went, pushed the shopping cart down towards that Family Dollar down there and slept outside there, and I ended up working there. But the moral of this story is, now you look at the life I have now with my cats, my house, everything. I don't have much, but I have more than most people do or will ever have in their life, because I'm sober and I've got the Holy Spirit, and I know where my eternity lies, and I know, that I couldn't do it myself. And there's not a lot of people that have gotten off of opiates for as long as I have, because it just doesn't happen. A doctor said there's no known cure for drug addiction, and there is, if you give your life to Jesus Christ. And I said, God, there's a reason why you let me lose that job, all that stuff. Sure enough, my good friend Heather, who worked at Family Dollar, said, hey, I know a woman that rents out trailers, and think about this, in this neighborhood with prostitution, crackheads, drug addicts, fentanyl, panhandling, people just living under the bridge over here, I said, she introduced me to the woman, and I said, this was 2019, late 2019 or 2019, I believe. It could be 2018, I'm not 100% sure. Knocked on the door. I said, yeah, this is my situation. I ended up getting a job at Family Dollar, but I was homeless. I was sleeping outside, kind of showering the best I could there. It was October, so it wasn't hot. But I said, I saved up some money. I was out on the street for 6 weeks. I said, do you have anything for rent? I don't do drugs. I'm sober, blah, 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 blah. I'm not a felon. I don't have any, anything on my record. And, and I could tell by looking at her, she had heard that story about 1,000 times. And the rest is history. As far as, I had a situation where I had to kick the girl out of the house that I was with and take on her extra financing, payments and stuff. And I was really nervous about that. Every time God has provided me with, from homelessness to that, to getting rid of her and taking on an extra $600, $700, $800 in expenses, with the power and the rent going up and the cats, and all that shit. I'm taking care of her cats, not that it matters, you know what I mean? But, there's always been, God has always been there to go here. And I've doubted him so many times, but I'll just tell you, pushing a shopping cart, if you haven't done it, and you probably won't experience it in your life, and I hope you don't, it only made me stronger. Pushing a shopping cart in front of all these cars with my suitcases, it's something that I never thought as a little boy that would be something that I would ever have to do. But I'll tell you, from going to jail, to working at a jail, to doing that, to sleeping on the streets, God had prepared me like he had prepared David with the giant. I hate this little thing on my shirt. I don't know why it's doing that. It's ruining my video. God has always made a way. God has always made a way. And when the end is so close, like, living here right off the interstate in this dumpy ass neighborhood, you know what I mean? And then not having a pot to piss in, not having a car, not having a banking account, not having any money. God let me, Family Dollar, not that the job's beneath me, but I've got a pretty good resume. I deserve better than that. I deserve better than working at McDonald's, but it wasn't below me to work there and to do whatever I had to do to get my cats a place to live and me a place to live. The gym is right down here. I used to walk under this underpass to go to the gym. I didn't even have a bicycle at the time. So God always provided a way. And when it looks like it's so close to ending, I can't tell you how many times, this is just one example. I can't tell you how many times he's came through every time with a situation like that. And I would have never had dreamed that I would have the peace and the life I have getting up in the morning. My cats are with me. I got my dog. I've got my peace and quiet. I got no bullshit in my life, no drama, no anything, no money either. But, you just don't realize, most people will never. And that's why I always tell people, just give it to God. Put your trust in the Lord. It's not some, like BS New Age stuff, like literally. Seek him first. I said, God, there's a reason why you did this. I know this has gone on too many times in my life. You've always come through for me. So give me the peace. And the whole time I was homeless, sleeping out here with the pimps and the hoes and the crackheads and the needle movers and everything else, and feeding raccoons, they would come up and try to nibble on your feet while you were sleeping outside a taco truck over there near the woods. I just had the most peaceful feeling in my heart, and that's God telling you that everything's going to be all right. And then boom, the best thing, I was telling the landlord's son last night, he's like, oh, I want to paint your fence. I said, listen, I'm extremely happy with everything that, and with my finances being limited, now they want to start paying me to do pest control, which is chipping away at the rent, little by little. And I'm just grateful for all the opportunities that I've had, because These negative things are opportunities. Trust me when I tell you, they only make you stronger. You have to just never give up. It doesn't matter if you go to jail, if you have this, if you have that. Just keep your head on and give it to God and acknowledge Him and keep praying to Him. It's not rocket science. I know it's more easier. It's too difficult for most people to figure out. You know, they want to listen to the Jocko Willink podcast and David Goggins and Joe Rogan, and you know, I had a person last night talking about how great Joel Osteen was, and I was like, fuck, we're doomed today. People are just doomed. Give it to God, or you're not going to have many choices.